上帝的智慧穿越时空，关于信仰和灵性的名人名言。
God's wisdom through time, famous quotes on faith and spirituality.
上帝所做的就是看着我们，在我们变得无聊的时候杀了我们。我们绝不能变得无聊。查克·帕拉纽克，看不见的怪兽。
All God does is watch us and kill us when we get boring. We must never, be boring. Chuck Palahniuk, Invisible Monsters.
基督徒不认为上帝会因为我们是好人而爱我们，而是认为上帝会因为他爱我们而使我们成为好人。C.S. 刘易斯。
The Christian does not think God will love us because we are good, but that God will make us good because he loves us. C.S. Lewis.
当他的生活被毁，他的家人被杀，他的农场被毁时，约伯跪在地上，向天大喊：为什么是上帝？为什么是我？而上帝的雷鸣般的声音回答说：你有什么东西让我生气？斯蒂芬金，世纪风暴。
When his life was ruined, his family killed, his farm destroyed, Job knelt down on the ground and yelled up to the heavens, Why God? Why me? And the thundering voice of God answered, There's just something about you that pisses me off. Stephen King, Storm of the Century.
祈祷不是请求，它是灵魂的渴求，它是每天承认自己的弱点。在祈祷中，有心无言比有言无心更好。圣雄甘地。
Prayer is not asking, it is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. Mahatma Gandhi.
我认为上帝在创造人类时有点高估了他的能力。奥斯卡·王尔德。
I think God, in creating man, somewhat overestimated his ability. Oscar Wilde.
成为一名基督徒意味着原谅不可原谅的人，因为上帝已经原谅了你身上不可原谅的人。C.S. 刘易斯。
To be a Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. C.S. Lewis.
我们不一定怀疑上帝会为我们做最好的事，我们是想知道最好的事会变成多么痛苦的事。C.S. 路易斯。
We are not necessarily doubting that God will do the best for us. We are wondering how painful the best will turn out to be. C.S. Lewis.
所有日子中最浪费的事，没有笑声的日子。尼古拉·尚福尔。
The most wasted of all days is one without laughter. Nicholas Chamfort.
一个人不能通过拒绝敬拜上帝来减少上帝的荣耀，就像一个疯子不能通过在牢房的墙壁上涂抹黑暗，以此来熄灭太阳一样。C.S. 刘易斯。痛苦的问题。
A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the word darkness on the walls of his cell. C.S. Lewis. The problem of pain.
祈祷的功能不是为了影响上帝，而是为了改变祈祷者的本性。索伦克尔·凯郭尔。
The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. Soren Kierkegaard.
如果我死了，上帝保佑，让这句话成为我的墓志铭。他认为上帝存在的唯一证据是音乐。库尔特·冯内古特。
If I should ever die, God forbid, let this be my epitaph. The only proof he needed for the existence of God was music. Kurt Vonnegut.
永远不要害怕把未知的未来交给已知的上帝。科利·滕布姆。
Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. Corrie ten Boom.
痛苦坚持要被关注。上帝在我们的快乐中对我们耳语，在我们的良知中说话，却在我们的痛苦中呼喊。这是他的扩音器，可以唤醒这个耳聋的世界。C.S. 路易斯。
Pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. C.S. Lewis.
狗的主人会注意到，如果你为他们提供食物、水、住所和爱，他们会认为你是神；而猫的主人则不得不意识到，如果你为他们提供食物、水、住所和感情，他们就会得出结论，他们是神。克里斯托弗希钦斯。便携是无神论者、无信仰者的基本读物。
Owners of dogs will have noticed that, if you provide them with food and water and shelter and affection, they will think you are God. whereas owners of cats are compelled to realize that, if you provide them with food and water and shelter and affection, they draw the conclusion that they are gods. Christopher Hitchens, The Portable Atheist, Essential Readings for the Non-Believer.
如果你想知道上帝对钱的看法，只要看看他把钱给了哪些人就知道了。多罗西·帕克。
If you want to know what God thinks of money, just look at the people he gave it to. Dorothy Parker.
有时一个人手中的圣经比另一个人手中的威士忌酒瓶更糟糕。有一些人他们忙于担心下一个世界，他们从来没有学会在这个世界上生活。你可以在街上看到这种结果。哈珀里杀死一只更鸟。
Sometimes the Bible in the hand of one man is worse than a whiskey bottle in the hand of another. There are just some kind of men who are so busy worrying about the next world, they've never learned to live in this one, and you can look down the street and see the results. Harper Lee.
我相信上帝，但不是作为一种东西，不是作为天上的一个老人。我相信人们所说的上帝是我们每个人心中的东西。我相信耶稣、穆罕默德和佛陀以及其他所有人所说的都是正确的，只是翻译出错了。约翰列侬。
I believe in God, but not as one thing, not as an old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus and Mohammed and Buddha and all the rest said was right. It's just that the translations have gone wrong. John Lennon.
他不是为人而死，而是为每个人而死。如果每个人都是唯一被造的人，他所做的也不会少。C.S. Lewis.
He died not for men, but for each man. If each man had been the only man made, he would have done no less. C.S. Lewis.
我寻求听到上帝的声音，爬上最顶层的尖塔，但上帝宣布，再下去吧，我住在人们中间。约翰·亨利·纽曼。
I sought to hear the voice of God and climbed the topmost steeple, but God declared, Go down again, dwell among the people. John Henry Newman.
我与上帝对话，但天空是空的。西尔维亚·普拉斯。
I talk to God, but the sky is empty. Sylvia Plath.
父母就像上帝，因为你想知道他们在那里，你希望他们对你有好感，但你真的只在需要时才打电话。查克·帕拉纽克，看不见的怪物。
Parents are like God because you want to know they're out there, and you want them to think well of you, but you really only call when you need something. Chuck Palahniuk, Invisible Monsters.
上帝愿意阻止邪恶，却不能阻止邪恶吗？那么他就不是全能的。他有能力，但不愿意吗？那么他就是恶毒的。难道他既能又愿意吗？那么邪恶从何而来？难道他既无能力也无意愿吗？那为什么称他为上帝？一臂鸠鲁。
Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Then whence cometh evil? Is he neither able nor willing? Then why call him God? Epicurus.
主啊，因为你自己造了我们，我们的心是不安的，直到在你那里找到休息。希波的奥古斯丁，忏悔录。
Thou hast made us for thyself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it finds its rest in thee. Augustine of Hippo, Confessions.
上帝把我们从善意的人手中拯救出来。维克拉姆塞斯，合适的男孩。
God save us from people who mean well. Vikram Seth, a suitable boy.
那不是任何上帝的行为，那是一种纯粹的人类操蛋行为。斯蒂芬金，立场杂志。
That wasn't any act of God. That was an act of pure human fuckery. Stephen King, The Stand.
你可以放心地认为你已经按照自己的形象创造了上帝。当事实证明上帝憎恨所有和你一样的人时，安妮拉莫特。
You can safely assume you've created God in your own image, when it turns out that God hates all the same people you do. Anne Lamott.
没有女人愿意顺服于一个不顺服于上帝的男人。T.D. 杰克斯。
No woman wants to be in submission to a man who isn't in submission to God. T.D. Jakes.
有时上帝允许他所恨的东西来成就他所爱的东西。乔尼·埃里克森·塔达，我所爱的神。
Sometimes God allows what he hates to accomplish what he loves. Joni Eareckson Tada, The God I Love.
他如果有上帝的话，我确信他是一个他，因为没有女人能或会把事情搞得这么糟。乔治·卡林。
He and if there is a God, I am convinced he is a he, because no woman could or would ever fuck things up this badly. George Carlin.